The A-7D Corsair II is one of 5 aircraft in the air park here at George W. Bush Air Park that flew either with the 23rd Wing or here at Moody Air Force Base. This particular A-7D flew with the 23rd Wing from 1978 to 1981. It was assigned to the 74th Tactical Fighter Squadron when they were at England Air Force Base. The A-7D was delivered to the Air Force in December 1968 at a cost of $15 million. This A-7D spent most of its career with the 355th Tactical Fighter Wing out at Davis-Monthan before it came to the 23rd Wing at England Air Force Base and then returned back to Davis-Monthan. It was manufactured by Ling-Volt Aircraft, Dallas, Texas, and gained by the Air Force on 12 July 1973. In July 1973, it was assigned to the 355th Tactical Fighter Wing at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. In December of 1978, it was assigned to the 23rd Tactical Fighter Wing at England Air Force Base in Alexandria, Louisiana. It then went to the 121st Tactical Fighter Group Air National Guard Base at Rickenbacker Air National Guard Base, Ohio, in November of 1980. It was dropped from inventory in August of 1992. It flew to Pope Air Force Base, where it came from the Ohio Air National Guard. It was signed over to the crew chief, and they painted it to look just like a 23rd aircraft when it was stationed at England Air Force Base. All 3 squadrons, the 74th, the 75th, and the 76th Tactical Fighter Squadron, flew the A-7D while it was assigned at England Air Force Base in Alexandria, Louisiana. This particular A-7D is painted to resemble the 75th Fighter Squadron. If you look at the tail section, you will see the checkerboard design for the tail. If you look at the tail section on this A-7D, you will see EL on the tail. That stands for England Air Force Base, Louisiana. During the time that the 23rd Wing was at England Air Force Base, they got to go to exotic TDY locations such as Barbers Point in Hawaii. Lucky them. When the aircraft was stationed, of course, at England Air Force Base, EL was the tail marking. Then when the 23rd moved to Pope Air Force Base, that's when we got the FT. The FT that you see on the aircraft here at Moody Air Force Base originally stood for Fayetteville. But when the 23rd moved to Pope Air Force Base, they talked about putting PO on the tail, but they kept the FT and they said it stood for Flying Tigers. So when the 23rd moved from Pope Air Force Base to Moody Air Force Base, they took the FT with them. Fayetteville was not too pleased with that. The A-7D was the first aircraft to carry the heads-up display in combat, and it carries the 20mm 6-barrel Gatling gun. By the time the production of the A-7D ended in 1976, 459 A-7s were produced and delivered to the Air Force.